One of the life cycles in Watch It Grow is the life cycle of the white oak tree. And the white oak tree begins its life cycle as an acorn. So I thought I would like to make a picture of an acorn. I've looked at some reference books to get to know what kind of acorn is on a white oak tree, but I was lucky enough too to actually find an acorn from a white oak tree. And I think that's great for artists. If we can really work from nature, that's the best thing. So you might take a picture of something that you want to make a picture of. You might look at the real thing, or you might look on the internet or in the library and find art. I've started with the background. It's a piece of cardboard, and I've used this nice bright blue color, and I've just used my thumbs and fingers to spread it out. That's going to be the sky. That's the background of my picture. Let's add a little bit of excitement here. I'm taking a little bit of white clay and just kind of spreading it around. Maybe there's some white clouds drifting by on this day. I'm thinking this is a sort of late summer day because the acorn is on the tree, and we'll even add a little bit of purple. Why not? Now I'm going to start by making the little branch that the acorn is growing on, and I've used this sort of a browny gray color because that's kind of the color of oak branches if you look at them. And I'm going to lay it on my page. The little branch is going to come down like that. Oh, let's say like that. The nice thing with the clay is when you roll out this sort of snake, you don't have to attach it right away. You can decide where it might go. And I think I'm going to make it even shorter. I'm going to make it about like that. When it looks the way I want, I can press it down. And this is going to have a leaf growing off it. And the leaf is going to be this nice bright green color. I'm going to start making the shape of my leaf. I've rolled out another long snake of green. And because the leaf is quite big, I'm going to outline it with this snake. So that's the shape of the oak leaf. And they have these things, the science name for it is a lobe, these parts of the oak leaf that stick out. So they're kind of a wiggly shape like that. They're all a little bit different from each other. But once I have my outline, I can fill it in, and then I can just I press it down and then add some more of the same color green to fill in my oak leaf. And press it like that. You get nice strong hands when you work with modeling clay. So there's the outline of my leaf. Now leaves have things called veins in them, and I took a little bit of this color green, a little bit of white, and I mixed them together to make this lighter green, and that's going to be the vein on the leaf. I have some ready rolled out here, and I'm going to start it right in the middle of the leaf, and it's going to follow the center of the leaf, and that's going to actually be what attaches to my branch. So it's like the little stem of the leaf. And these veins of the leaves also spread out. That's what gives the leaf its energy. And I'm going to add a texture to it to show some more of the really thin veins. I'm using a little clay tool that just scratches into the clay and makes these lines to be the veins. If you don't have a little fancy clay tool like this, you can also even use a paper clip, and I've bent one. I'm going to use the paper clip also to make a texture of this twig that's holding the leaf and will hold the acorns, because oak trees are kind of wrinkly. So there, I've added a texture. Let's take a little bit more of the twig color. The branches end in a little bud, as you can see. So I'm just going to add these buds. Those are waiting for next year. It's just a little teardrop shape. I'm going to add it on. And now I'm going to make a couple more stems, because now we're finally getting to the acorn. That was kind of the backstory. Oops. Sometimes it doesn't work out when you roll things. I'm going to roll out some very thin pieces, and those are going to be stems. I think we'll make an acorn that comes down about here, and we'll just attach it. And we might even make a second acorn. Maybe like that. Now we'll get started on the acorn, and it's going to be this nice rich brown color. And I'm going to make the shape of the acorn right in my hands. So I'm going to roll the clay, kind of a round ball, and then I can just start pressing it. You see how the acorn, it kind of comes down straight and then to a little point. So that looks about the right size. I'm going to tear off a little bit. You can keep changing things with plasticine. And there's the sides of the acorn, and I'm going to come down and make a little, that little point at the tip. Then now I'm going to lay that in place. So I think the acorn's going to go right about there. And then the acorn, of course, wears a little cap. That's actually what it's called. And it's a bit lighter color, and it has this kind of interesting texture. So I'm going to roll sort of a fat shape. Let's see if that hat fits the acorn. Each acorn has a perfectly fitting hat for its size. I think we can do that one. I think we'll just lay that right on top. And to make them join the stem a little bit. And for the texture of this hat, we're going to kind of do a short form. I'm going to take my stick again, and I'm going to just make some X's. And there's a little acorn on the branch. Well, he looks sort of lonely, so I think we'll quickly make a little acorn buddy. No two acorns are alike in nature and in plasticine. And we'll give him a tiny little stem. But you know what happens in the fall, as these leaves start to change color and the acorns get nice and brown, they fall off. So I'm going to make this little acorn falling off the tree. And you know, we've been very scientific, but we can use our imaginations too. So let's have some fun. Let's make the acorns noticing. This guy's noticing maybe that his friend is disappearing. We'll use a pencil, and he's looking over and he's saying, "Oh my goodness." But his friend is probably saying, "That's okay." We'll give him some eyes. He's looking back. He's got a big smile. And this little acorn might be saying, "I'll see you in the spring." Well, I hope you enjoyed this little life cycle story, and I hope it encourages you to go outside in your neighborhood. Maybe you'll notice some things, maybe they'll make you curious, maybe you'll ask some questions, and maybe you will want to share what's growing in your neighborhood. So thanks for joining me today, and happy reading.